had with Dr. Drake. This is simply a continuation of what we had in the morning, and we're actually building on what we already have for us to be able to have a very good e-learning experience. This afternoon, we are going to be looking at content and assessment authoring tools. We shall do two parts. We shall go through a little bit of the theoretical part of it, and then lastly, we shall do the practical bit. So I request that we start off right now. Okay. Yeah, once again, good afternoon. We are good to go. When we talk of content authoring, we build from the previous session that we had with the previous facilitator, where we look at different learning objectives and what we intend to use for us to be able to deliver our content to our learners. My name is Joseph Luevuze, and I'll take you through this other part slowly by slowly. We are also building on to the accounts that we had yesterday to help us understand and be able to practice much of this by ourselves. Now, looking at the content that we've just gone through, we look at the learning objectives that you, an instructor, would wish to use. And from this learning objective, you develop an authoring tool of your course. We are going to go through a number of authoring tools for us to be able to appreciate the love and the beauty around all this. After discovering the content, the authoring tool that you're going to use, put all the content that you want to use into that authoring tool. And once that is done, of course, that's when you do the export a package. Now, the package you export basically has to take is what we are going to put into our learning management system. So have a content authoring tool as its own somewhere, where we develop content, and after developing our content, then we will bring it to the learning management system. So as we look at this, the process starts with you choosing a tool, develop the tool, then export whatever you have developed to the LMS or the learning management system. Now, in uploading this to the LMS, as we shall see, we use what we call the SCORM packages. The SCORM package, that's what we use to be able to get to the other bit of our learning management system. And this presents our content that we just developed in a web format, in a website format. And this is what a student or a learner is supposed to access going forward. The beauty about this content, as you see this section here, is that it's an interactive content between the system and the learner. The learner uses a web browser to access the content, and there are interactions between the two. So having had this, this takes us to number 4, where we have a complete process of our authoring content being available for our learners. Now, among the tools we use, as I mentioned, we use a program called a SCORM package or SCORM packages, which we use to facilitate the creation process based on that standard. SCORM is simply shareable content object reference model. The content you're building in this form, it's being made available, it's supposed to be shared with the rest, with your learners. It generates the needed file or the files and the code, which is supposed to be added to the LMS. And you, the author, you don't need to deal with the small details of the standard. So you only concentrate on one part, which is putting up content. The platform has already been developed for us. It's an open source kind of platform, and that's what we use for us to be able to develop this content. Now, friends on call. One of the tool that we use is called an Exe Authoring Software. So I want to go through this Exe do a little bit of a practice of what it is and how we can add content. Then I'll give you some time to practice, about 10 minutes for you to practice, and then we shall move on to another tool and we'll be able to display what we have. Now, when we talk of an Exe, ladies and gentlemen, it's basically an e-learning HTML, XHTML, HTML editor, which uses an authoring environment to assist teachers or the academicians in designing, developing and publishing of web-based learning or teaching materials. With this, you don't need to be an expert in website development. You don't need to be an expert in coding or any other complicated web publishing application. It's only accessing the EXE, and once you've been able to access the EXE, then you would be good to go. The question would be, why do we use an EXE? We use an EXE because we aim to provide an intuitive, easy-to-use tool which will enable both the instructors or the teachers and the learners, especially the teachers, to publish professional-looking web pages for learning purposes. It provides also an addition, professional web publishing capabilities that can be referenced or even imported by learning management system. Because at the end of the day, we want to make sure that our learning management system can accommodate all types of learners and all types of content. It is built in such a way that third-party applications can actually plug into the LMS model to be specific, and then this will create a very learning user experience that is very good. The other beauty is that when you're working with an EXE, a learning content authoring tool, you don't need to be online, much as you talk of the web page. All you need to do is to have an installation on your machine, and once this is done, then you'll have the local connectivity on your machine, and then you can start developing your content. It uses what we call WeSwitch, that is what you see is what you get functionality, which enables users to see the content and how it will look like when it is published online. As you keep developing this content, you use this what you see is what you get for you to be able to simulate what the learners will be able to see at the end of the day when you do the addition of an XCOM, of a SCOM package into the learning management system. Why do we use X over web publishing application like FrontPage or Dreamweaver? Or why don't we go for Dreamweaver or FrontPage? Now, it's because that these applications like FrontPage and Dreamweaver offer users a fairly sophisticated tool for web design. As we said, you don't need to be an expert in designing a website, an expert in coding for you to use EXE. By the same time, you're already in the field and you want to enhance the learning of your learners. But these tools become proficient. However, learning these tools with the time may make you a little bit more proficient and can often help to steep the time and time consuming. So what Exe has done is to be able to identify many of these elements which make up learning resources and present these in the forms that are technically simple and easy to use. And this is basically why we use Exe. How do we get EXE? For you to be able to get EXE, we go to exe.learning, exelearning.org. There's both a user manual and there is also the software itself. This software goes to both Windows, Mac OS, or even Linux. Okay, let me go to Exe. I want to share a screen. Okay, so we can go to Exe. So this is the site where we pick the Exe, and from the site we have the user manual, and also have the download Exe, the different versions. There are several versions for Windows, for Linux, for Mac OS, and so on. Just feel free to move through. And also I can look at the latest versions of the same. So for Windows, you go for Windows. If you're for Mac, sorry. If you're for Mac, you go for Mac OS. If you're for Ubuntu, you go for Ubuntu. If you're for Fedora, you go for Fedora. Depending on the operating system you're using, will determine which option you'll go for. As I said myself, I'm for Windows. I'll go for Windows. At the end of the day, we all have the same interface that we are using for us to be able to access. Okay. So the moment you go to Windows, it will basically go ahead and where's the short page? I think it is here. And then you save your exe. Okay. Once it has been saved, we can exit this and go to our folder where we had it. So this is our exe tool that we just downloaded. Just double click at it to start the installation. Follow through the different parts of the installation. I hope you can see my screen. Click next, agree, decide where to put it. Usually under program files, you can leave it at that, and then install the app. It will take a few minutes, and once the app has been installed, then we have exe installed on our machine. So for now, we've done an installation, and I would suggest and request that from wherever we are, we continue to do the installation slowly by slowly. Okay. So far we've had the installation done, and we want to see its look. Now these are the different screens of the exe that we're just working on, or we're going to work on this afternoon. It has that interface. It has a graphical user interface outline, as we shall see going forward. And it has also iDevices. We shall be looking at what are iDevices and what do they do under exe. Then we have the authoring software itself. So this is where we start putting the different content, as we shall do from the other end. So the assumption here is that the time that we were given before the end of the last session was for us to be able to think of how we can structure our learning our course, or our learning objective, or our learning objects, see what we need to include in our learning objects, and basically that is what we use for us to be able to develop the content that we are going to develop this afternoon. Yes, Florence, it can run on a model platform, but it will be able to run there as a content, as a SCORM package. So you need to develop your content from exe, export it into a SCORM package, and you only take a SCORM package to your model platform. With that aside, those are some different parts of the Exe authoring software, and we are going to go through it one slowly by slowly for us to be able to experience a little bit of it. Okay, so I want now to open up my Exe, the one I just installed a few minutes ago. Exe. So that is my Exe as it appears, and the way it has opened on my platform. So I want to believe that we all have the same, those of us who are following closely, and we can ask questions as we go through this particular part. It has an outline. This basically has an outline. It has an activity that is the top left hand side. We have an outline. It has 3 panels. One is the outline panel, which is top left. The second is the activity panel, which is down here, bottom left, where we see the iDevices. That's the activity panel. And then you also have the home, which is the center panel. This is basically what we use for content authoring. Okay, let me go back to the site. We go back to the site. Okay. Let me just go back to the site. Apologies. Someone was left behind. Okay, that is where we are. And I've shared the same in the chat room. Please access that site and be able to download. I wanted to hear a yes when Mr. Charles Ojambo has been able to download and install this. Probably we can get his screen as he tries to go through the download. Mr. Ojambo, Charles?
Yes, I'm present.
Okay, can we have your screen with us and you try to go share with us what you are doing at your end? I could be having a very fast machine and I leave you behind. Probably
Okay.
if you use yours, everyone will be able to follow closely and a little bit slowly. How about that?
Okay.
Good. Please go ahead and share your screen. Now, as Ojambo shares his screen, I wanted to explain something still on the Exe main screen. Is that we have what we call Exe activities, as I mentioned. Okay, that's great. You can go to Exe. Okay. You seem to be using a Windows machine. Move down to Windows installer. It is somewhere here. Up. Yes, that one. Now, when you open it, it opens a new window, which we are not able to see, I think, and is asking you to save the file. Am I right? Jambo?
I'm not seeing the place for saving. Let me see.
It's already downloading on your screen.
Okay.
It is there. Okay, wait for it to finish and then
I open.
25. Okay, it is done. You can click at it to open the file. Yes. Now go back to share screen. You'll find a new share.
My system is slow.
It's okay. Okay. I want to see the screen that is installing on your side.
Yeah, I've already said the news here. I don't know why you're not seeing it. I've already picked it. It's a little bit slow.
Yes, the app is available for Mac users also. Click back one step, Chaz.
Back.
Yes, there's something I just want to show my colleague. He has put a message in the chat room. If you're for Mac OS, if you see there is Mac OS X Universal Binary 10.3.9 or later. So this is where my brother, Emma, this is where yours lies. So click at Mac OS and then we'll be able to download the version for Mac operating system.
Can I go forward now?
Yeah, it's okay. We wanted to look at the installation window that is running on at your end. Go to share. There is new share. Hover your mouse, you will see the word stop share, but beside stop share, we have new share. Have you seen it?
I've already clicked new share, but I'm not seeing why. I don't see why you don't see it from your end.
Of course, when you say new share, you need to pick that other window that is installing.
Okay.
Double click at that other window that is installing and it will be shared on screen.
Are you able to see now?
Not yet. Alternatively, you're going to follow as I try to go through the installation again. Chaz.
Okay. It's okay.
Okay, you can stop sharing now. This is my file. Can you see this window, Chaz and the other members? Charles, are we together?
Yes, I'm able to see.
Yes.
Okay, you click next. Are we doing so wherever we are? Dr. Businje, we are going to go through that as well. Agree to the license. Have you agreed? Florence? Florence Mirembe? Have we agreed? Emma Futu.
Yes, please.
Yes, are you able to get the version for your Mac?
Yes, please. I've downloaded and trying to install it now.
Oh,
Thank
great.
you.
Come. Okay, Charles, are we together?
Yes, I'm installing now.
Oh, thank you, Joseph. You're good to go. Yes, please go ahead and do the installation. Come. And once everything is done, in about 1 minute, click at finish. So installation is done. Thank you, Joseph. Thank you, Businje, Dr. Businje. I think some people have already done the installation. Okay. Anyone failing to? Okay. Adeyemi, thank you. Charles, thank you. Okay. We're about 33. I see about 5 people who have been able to do the installation. What's happening with the rest of the other members? Alex? Benja? Alphonsine?
Alex is through with the installation.
Oh, that is great. George, you have something. Can you please unmute and tell us? Oh, Dorcas, thank you. This is great. Alphonsine? Bruno? Okay, I think we can move on. If you have a challenge, please make sure you put your message in the chat room. We'll be able to see it and I'll address your issue. As we move on. Okay. Alex is off his desk. Can you, Jambo, Charles, can you please open your Exe, the one you just installed? Oh, let me use Businje. Felix, please share your screen and open your Exe. Okay. There is an error with, I think either your antivirus has eaten up the Exe installation file. Can we run the installation again together on screen? Okay. Okay. Okay, go ahead and open it. I think your machine has a challenge, a problem that you need to work on. Okay, your machine has an issue. We'll be able to maybe troubleshoot afterwards. Charles, can you share your screen? Charles or Dorcas, one of the two?
Yes, yes.
Oh, Joseph, I shared already. Thank you.
Okay. Okay.
Thank you. Okay, now looking at Joseph's screen, we want to be able to describe an Exe screen. One, it has three parts, basic parts, as I mentioned. The first part is the outline, which is always on the top left corner. That's the outline section, and whatever we'll be doing, that section will actually be displayed there. Whenever we want to add a page in any of the things that we'll be doing, whatever page we add will be added down there under home and so on and so forth. Depending on where you've clicked, then the page will be added either as a sub page or as a main page. And this will determine whether we are adding a topic or a subtopic or something like that. And try adding a page and see what happens. Click at add page at the top. Yes, and then add page at the top of outline. Good, yes. So it adds a topic. Add another one. Now adds a subtopic. Okay. So whatever we are going to be adding into our content will either be a topic or a subtopic, depending on what we have set up as our learning objective and where we are going to structure our learning. If you want to delete whatever you have put up, have the delete section. Then the other one is a rename a bit, still under the outline. That's why it's called an outline section. Two, we have the activity section, which is bottom left. Click, okay. That's the activity section, bottom left. And the moment you click at activity, then you're given with a space where you can put the activity as it's supposed to be. So shall be able to go through that particular session, another activity, and see what we can put. Now, looking at this activity, it has a number of things. The third one is the home or the center, which is the authoring area. The moment you click at the activity or case study or close activity, it opens up something in the main authoring area, which we are calling the home center. So this is the home center. This section is what we refer to as the home center. And in so this is what we refer to as the home center. Okay. So whatever we do will be captured within the home center. Now, what we named as activity in this section, it has a topic called iDevices. So these are Exe activities. So we use the name iDevices to refer to different Exe activities on the Exe platform, and each of these activities will actually be able to give us something very unique. And I wanted to go through these slowly by slowly. For example, the activity section simply gives us the description of whatever we are going to put up as part of our content. The case study helps us to enter text for description, basically for the case study. Then the close activity, it's a fill in gap text, as we shall see. We have the link, that is to help us have, that is close external website link. Whenever we are adding up content and we want to be able to put an external link as part of the content or the content that we are authoring, then we use the content and then we can add the content. We have the free text, where authors enter free text using YSEG. That is, what you see is what you get editor. The moment you enter the text in that section of free text, then you'll be able to see what exactly the students will be able to see at their end. Then we have the image gallery. Whenever you want to add a specific image, this image can be on a computer, the image can be from the internet. So if we're to add an image, that's what we use for us to be able to add an image. And all these, so many others, there's a SCORM quiz, objectives, pre-knowledge, RSS, reading activity, reflection, week article, true and false questions. All these are part of the different I devices. For example, true and false question, depending on what the previous speaker facilitator took us through, that whenever you have your content, you should be able to test either using a summative way or a formative way. And he said that it is usually advisable and very good that as you end your topic that you're discussing, you have some review questions for people to participate and try to gauge the level of understanding and the level of how you've been able to deliver the content. So that's when you have the true and false questions. We have multi choice, we have multi select. There are some of the questions or exercises that we can set up that help us get the best out of it. So out of this, when this is done, we are now going to see how do we build our course. Joseph, I want to ask you again, do you have any content that you shared, you had developed? Remember, we're given some 10 minutes. We're given some 10 minutes for us to be able to reflect on some activities. Were you able to do a reflection at some point or not?
Okay.
The floor is yours.
Not yet, please.
Oh, not yet. Okay. Depending on what you want to have, let me see if I have mine here. Exe. So what we're doing should be able to give us a simulation that basically looks like something like this. At the end of the day, the students will be able to come to their work or to their e-learning platform, open the specific file, a specific content, and they simply click next for them to be able to go through the content as it appears. So this is like in a web format, but it's been so much put together and so much worked on that appears as good as is. Okay. So we're going to move on. I'm sharing my Exe window. Okay. This is my Exe. So we've seen the different parts of this window. Now I want to be able to add content. So if you have already developed content, this becomes very easy for you to proceed from this point. So, and as some people have already said that what we are doing now, we are building on to what we had yesterday and what we had this morning. Take an example. Assuming I want to develop a course unit, and that is IT security. Okay, that's a unit I want to develop. And I want to tailor my content to that specific unit. Okay, I've just maximized my screen. I hope you can still see the screen very well. At the outline section here, we have the rename bit. Now the home one, I'm going to call it IT security. And then I will say, okay. You give it a few minutes, we shall have IT security being reflected under where we had home. So I may add a page also. Okay, IT security is there. Then I can add a page. I want to be able to put up the objectives of my discussion under IT page. Okay. It's moving a little bit slow depending on how much loaded your machine is. Okay. My first topic, if you either double click or simply click at rename, then you can type the name of whatever you want to give. So this is objectives. So I'm going to remove objectives and put objectives, then save. Okay. Now I go to activity to be able to populate the objectives. Okay. Course objectives. Now, because I already have something that I typed somewhere, that's why it is important that you first of all have to arrange your work properly. Then I simply go ahead and pick whatever I prepared for objectives, come and paste it here. Or start doing the typing from this very section there and then. Okay. Okay, so once we are done with putting up these objectives, then we may simply tick the green button to indicate that you're done. Okay. Next, I'm going. So this is what we said as what you see is what you get. So this is how it's going to be displayed on the side of the students once we are done. Next, I need to look at what I need to take as lesson number 1. Okay. So add a page. I want it at a level of the topic, the subject I'm discussing. If I clicked at objectives and said add page, it will be a little bit hard. The page will be added under objectives. But I want to be objectives and the second page to be at the same level. Okay. The first topic is lesson number 1. And I have activity number 1. I'm going to give you some small time for you to be able to create some little content. So this is activity number 1. Okay. This is fine. Then I simply say done. Give it some time. I'll move on to under lesson 1. I have I'm adding another page under lesson 1. And this page I am adding here is called value of information. Okay. Activity. My machine is moving a little bit slowly, but we're going to get there. Okay, good. That is value of information. If you look here, we have subscript. So if you have anything you're typing that involves these simple Microsoft Office tools, you can engage this particular section, and then you'll be able to get most of these things. Okay. Reasons for protecting sensitive information. Okay. And add a page. Okay. Okay. Can have personal security. Okay, my machine is moving a little bit slow, but That would be the sequence into which these activities will be able to move. Anyone who has been successful in doing this? Saka? Mr. Alex? Alphonsine? Are we
Yes.
good?
Me, I'm starting late the courses. It is because I see all you doing now.
Okay, so do you want to try it out?
Yes, I will try this out after discussing.
Okay, we are going to have some 10 minutes for someone who has ever come up with something and display to us.
It is because I don't know by when, where you start.
It's okay. We are going to do a recap with you and then we'll be able to move ahead.
Okay.
Any other person? I know it is after lunch and everyone seems to be tired. I guess some are even dozing. Oh, okay. Professor was responding to. Okay, now, if you see, for example, each of these are several. For example, this is a topic. Our main topic is IT security. We've had objectives. We have lesson 1. We've had value of information. Then probably there was protecting of information. If you happen to discover that protecting of information is supposed to have been a topic of its own, you can either you promote it. Otherwise, we can demote it where it was. So we use these two buttons, these two, the arrow pointing up and the one pointing in the opposite direction down, to help us either promote or demote each of these subheadings. So if protecting sensitive information is under lesson 1, then I'm simply going to demote it to lesson 1. We give it some time. Oh, sorry, Benjamin. You give it some time and then it will put it under lesson 1, and that is below value of information. So you can go ahead and rearrange your work in the way you feel it should be arranged. Let me put some information under value of information. No, protecting sensitive information. Okay. Okay, we have something. We can add a page. Can add a topic, another topic that is personal security. So this one which has just come, we can promote it to a topic level. Moving a little bit slow, but we are going to get there. Move it up a bit. Okay. So this is personal security. You can rename this to personal security. And under personal security, we have something. Okay. Okay. Then we can have another page as the last one. Yes, Joseph, you can. Please unmute.
Let me try to share my screen with you so that you guide me through.
Accepted.
Thank you. So if I come to share screen, this is that. Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are.
Yes, so when I come to home, I'd rename this instruction resources and practical teaching in mathematics. So again, under this, I want to add another page. I want to call it objectives course.
Okay.
Objectives course. Then I want to put something there. I go to activity. Okay. But add a summary of something somewhere. Let me see if I can just copy and paste it as the objective. We come to okay, course objectives. So I copy this, copy, then I get to here. I paste. I think. Does it come?
Okay.
So I've pasted something there. And then
good to go.
I check this so that this now become my objectives. By the end of the course, learners should be able to develop new things up to here. And then maybe my first topic that I want to teach is called. My first topic I want to teach is called development and use of instructional resources in mathematics. Examples, charts, models, and definition.
Okay. Now you go and add a topic. That's
yes.
Topic number 1.
So I now add. Sorry, I think I should delete this. It comes an objective, so I should delete that.
Oh, no, it's okay. Don't delete. Leave it. We're going to learn something new.
Okay.
It's very okay.
Okay. So
now, when it happens to appear just below that,
yes.
So it means that it is under, it's a subtopic or a subheading under objectives. Now, if you want to take it to the level of objectives, that is as a topic, then we use these buttons down here.
Where?
Just hold on. These two. One takes, yes, one takes you one level up, the other takes you one level down. So you're going to use the one that takes you, that promotes. You're going to promote that section one level up.
Okay.
So you click at it once, It should align it to where it's supposed to be.
Thank you.
Welcome.
Then I can get here and then remain it. Then I call this one charts. Sorry, charts and models. Charts and models. And then I also come here. I put an activity under charts and models. Add some activity here about the definition and examples of resources. Let me just copy something here. I copy this and bring it here. I also paste it. Then something like that. Professor, does that make sense?
Yes, it does.
Okay.
Yeah.
So, which means now following your instruction, I could self-click here, then add another topic that I'm calling topic 2, but I can take it to the same level like this.
Yes,
so,
as we move on, Florence, the link on for YouTube is already in the chat room. As we move on, please go ahead, Joseph.
Okay, so maybe I could add my topic 2. Let me check what my topic 2 is all about. My topic 2 is all about use of ICT in teaching mathematics in secondary schools. So which means I will give this a name. Use of ICT in teaching mathematics in secondary schools. So, okay, it brings for me the name there. Then under activity, I also put something. And let me see what I have something under this that I developed. I'll look this quickly. ICT. Okay, something. Okay. Okay, this content is not really related to ICT, but let me just pick like YouTube resources, just put there for learning purposes, I'll update later.
It's very okay for learning purposes, fine, yes.
For learning purposes, let me put here this, come put here, say, paste, then also click on this, like this, and then I think I will continue up to the last topic, isn't it?
Okay, good. Now, before you continue, now we want to go to some specific area. Probably you can add the review. You can add another topic, like kind of a topic, and say review exercise.
Review exercise, yeah?
Yes.
Take this.
So, okay, review exercise.
Review exercise. Yes.
Okay, great. Now we move down to the iDevices. We have mild choice, we have mild select, we have true and false. Okay.
Yes. Yes.
So of the three, which one do you want to take? Pick one of your choice.
For learning purpose, let's take multiple choice.
Okay. Click at mild choice. Okay. So we are going to have the question. So give us a question you want to give out.
Okay. Just an example.
Remember, we are having a multiple choice.
Multiple choice, yes. So, for example, if I went and said write ICT in full.
Okay. Okay. We have a hint section. Now the hint section should we have the hint section. That should be something that is guiding this section. That one can fill later on. Let's move to option 1. Give us an answer for option 1.
Yeah. Where do I type it?
Option 1 is typed here.
Where?
Your answer for option 1, okay? Yes, there. Below.
It's here.
Yes, your answer.
Okay. Maybe put A or B or just plain.
No, just put answer.
Okay.
Just put the answer without.
Okay, for example, we can say information, and let's put here center technology.
Okay.
That's option 1.
Okay. Now give us feedback about option 1. Is it the correct option or it's not?
It is not.
Okay. If someone chose that and they went to be graded, what should the system tell them? Maybe you said, remember we are reviewing our topics that we've been able to go through.
Yes.
So maybe please this is either this is wrong. Please check topic number this, section this.
Okay.
You give them a hint on what they should expect if they happen to either get it right or wrong.
Oh, so this one they've gotten it wrong. I want them now to check the definition. Check the definition. Of ICT given maybe on page 2, something like that.
Yeah, sure. Go to another option. You add another option.
Where
Down,
do I get the next?
just below that.
Below.
Just
this.
below that. Yes.
There.
Here. I've just circled somewhere on your screen.
Okay, I add option.
Yes, add another option.
Okay.
Okay. So when you add the option, it goes down.
Yes.
Okay. The option number 1 was information center and center technology. What is option number 2?
Option number 2 is information and communications technology.
Okay.
Yes.
Okay, that's perfect. You have feedback for that.
It is the correct one.
Okay. So we are going to add the third option as well.
What do you put under feedback for this?
And maybe this is correct. And now, just a moment. I'm going to show you something. Okay. Now, since this is a correct answer, okay. Now there is this section. There is this. Have you seen where I've just circled on your screen?
Oh yes.
There is that arrow. That yes.
This one.
Yeah. Just clicking it. Okay, that means that's the correct answer. And then you can give feedback here.
Here.
Okay. Down.
Here.
Yes, sir.
For example, what will be the feedback?
Correct option.
Okay. Yes.
Okay, can add another one, the third one.
Third option.
It's down.
Yeah, okay. Here.
Yes, sir. Okay, that's okay. Let's move down.
Yes.
Yeah, scroll down. Now we see the tick. Do you see this green tick?
Where?
Is
Oh,
here.
yes.
So you click at it to show that you're done with that part.
Okay, but we haven't given feedback for this.
It's okay. You can come back and you can always come back. And,
I understand. Okay, fine. Okay. Thank you.
okay. So I think this is what you've just set up. You have a view of what you just set up.
Yes.
Okay, now we want to make this content be ready for upload onto the LMS. Now, for us to get this content ready for the ELMS, we are going to save it as a SCOM package. So you go to File, we are saving it, File, you go to File.
Yes.
Save as, no, go to Export, go to Export.
Yes.
Okay, now we have IMS content package, we have SCOM 1.2, we also have a single website, and so those are different formats that can be used to export this work that we are working with. Okay. Then the next one, which is merging, before we do the saving. If, for example, you have two files,
Yes.
you first worked on topic 1, 2, and 3, they are somewhere. You worked on topic 4, 5, 6, 7, also somewhere. And you want to merge both files together into one single file of exe. That's when you go and do the merge and insert the package that you want to merge this with.
Okay.
Okay, let's go back to export. Let's take SCOM 1.2. Select SCOM 1.2. Okay, where do you want to save it? Choose a location where you want to save it.
So now let's put at the desktop.
You need to create a folder on desktop.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. So open that folder and give it exe1. Or which unit is this? ICT.
Okay, this is ICT. Use of ICT.
Okay, use ICT. And then save. Okay, that is good. Now you can minimize this. I want you to open for us the window, the folder you just created.
Okay.
Open your desktop, then go back to new share and share the folder. I want to see the folder that you created.
Okay. Okay, fine. What's this? So let me view. Share the screen. Are you able to see the screen?
Yes, we're seeing your screen. Okay, fine. Now go to exe. Good.
I open.
Yes, sir.
There you are.
Okay, open now. When you save it, when you export it, it's going to compress it into something like that.
Yes.
Then open that folder. Click at this close. Okay, look for index. Index.html. It's down there.
Yes, here.
Double click at it. Okay. So that is the work that you did set up. Unable to. Okay, fine. Okay. Okay, go back to Exe. Sorry.
It's fine.
You can
Sorry.
minimize this. Can minimize this.
Okay.
Open Exe and also close that. No. Exe, the app.
Oh, the app. Okay. Okay. Yes.
Okay, go back to file.
To
File, and then export.
file, export. Yes.
Okay, call it IMS content package.
Yes.
Click at that. Give it a name. Done.
Yes.
Okay, now let's go back to our file, our screen. Let's go back to our screen.
Yes.
Open your folder. Open the second file, the second.
Yes.
Okay. Look for HTML index. First, close this window right here.
It is here.
Double click HTML. Okay, good. That is what is giving us. That is okay.
Yes.
And now, let me see. Something is not up. Something didn't come up very well. I think could have missed something. Let me check mine. You can stop the share.
Okay.
Okay. Do you see my screen?
Oh, yes.
Okay. We have this. When I open this, say index. Okay. It was still saving something here before. I was a little bit faster than my device.
Okay.
Index. Okay. Okay, I have one saved under as ICT security. Okay, ICT security. I have index.html. So when I open index, it should be able to give me a field. So this is what I've just worked on with you. So from security, someone clicks at next. As long as you've put content, everything will be visible for your learners in this form. So are you seeing my screen? Hope you're seeing it.
Yes, we're able to see your screen.
No, you didn't see what I was seeing. This is what I wanted you to see.
Okay.
So we have our screen of what I've been able to put as under IT security. Lesson 1, we have threats, value of information, and personal security. And this is what we've been able to put. Lesson 1, so someone clicks next, and next, and next. So what I'm going to do, someone had put a message in the chat room that how do you export this to an LMS, or would you host it on institutional website? Now, David, we do host this on the LMS, and the next item that I'm going to do is to go to the LMS, log in, and then put it there for you to see how it is put there. And once we see how it is put there, then you'll also be able to see how we access it. So I am I'm moving to 8 Learning. 8learning.org. Okay. We go to e-learning. Okay, I'm logged in. Hope you see my screen.
Yes, we do.
Okay. Do we see what I'm doing?
Yes, we're following.
Okay, now when we reach to a section where we want to put this, 16th October, okay. Probably what I'm putting up, I want it to be evaluating. This is rapid. Okay, fine. So I'm putting up. We have a unit already available, so I'm putting up an activity. This activity, I'm going to call it SCOM package. This is IT security. Then I'm going to pick my file and drop it in this section here. Okay. Okay. So I'll put up my content in a zipped form. Okay. Okay, so we have this, which is already there. So if you choose to come in as a student, for some of you who are able to log in, and those who can log in even now, do we have anyone logged in? Joseph, can you please log into your LMS and share the screen with us? So
Okay,
as a student,
let me try to log in.
Okay. Okay, so Joseph, share your screen. Oh, now go to my courses and open that course unit. E-learning content development. Open the course unit, my courses. e-learning content, that one, yes. Leave page. End tour. Okay, go to content. Move down, down a bit. Slightly up, slightly up. Slightly up. Okay, go to IT security. You open it. That's good. Move down. And then enter to start going through the course. Okay, you have a pop-up window which has appeared on your screen. Can you go to that window? Have you seen it? Is there anyone else who has accessed it?
I'm seeing the content, yes.
Can you share that screen with us also?
Yes, I'm sharing it.
No, you're sharing a screen. We stopped at the word SCOM package in red. What you're seeing, we are not able to see. We want to see what you're seeing also.
Okay.
Mm-hmm.
So, this one?
Yes, that one. So that is what students will be able to go through at their own end.
Okay.
Now, if you've been given rights as a teacher under Moodle, that means you'll be able to add this content, whatever you'd have developed under Exe, add it, and also make it available to your learners. They'll be able to click next, go to the review exercise as well at the end of the day, review the exercise, and then that's when that activity will be marked as complete, and then they can move on to the next activity.
Okay.
Yes.
Perhaps a question for you.
Yes.
Does the system mark the objective questions automatically?
Yes. And that's why we did give the correct answer. So as you put these review questions, you provide a correct answer. And as you provide a correct answer, the system is able to pick the correct answer and give feedback to the student or whoever will be attempting that particular set of work.
Or maybe at a later time, you'll take us through how to view the results in the system now.
It's
Can
okay.
I ask a question?
Yes, sir.
One of the, okay, can you do this? Can you do, for example, set your questions on, let's say on your using a Word document and then you import or you export? Or you just have to do it manually the way we did it on the...
Now that one we need to, because we are developing within the authoring tool, for the predefined format for us to enter the different questions. However, on the LMS itself, which item we've looked at, there's an option for a question bank where you import all your questions that you have prepared. This time these questions are prepared in a notepad form, not a Word document.
Okay.
Put them onto your system, and then only set or make available a certain set of questions or exams as per your requirements, as I think we shall see before the end of the week.
Okay.
So we are looking at content authoring, but I've seen somewhere we have exams and question banks and so on, which we'll be able to go through before the week ends. This will give us a glimpse on how we attempt those exams and how we set up these exams. Okay, any other question? Can we proceed?
Yes, let's go on.
Thank you. I also want to add on what my colleagues have already added, have already mentioned. Okay, someone is requesting for us to go through the upload procedure on the LMS again. It's perfect. I'm going to do it again. Let me return my role. Teacher. Okay. Now, whenever you're working with the LMS, you have an option to view how the students will be able to see the work you're putting up for them. For example, the moment I clicked at my name, I had an option to switch my role, and I can switch my role to a student. So I simply go in as a student, and then this is what students will be able to see at their end, or this is what you're actually able to see at your end. Now, if I want to go back and make further edits, I still go back to my name and return my normal role. That means I now go back into the system as a teacher. I turn editing on because it's very important. I'm going to make edits into my unit. I move to where I want to have my content, my SCORM package that I've been working on. It is here. I go to add an activity or resource. Charles, I hope you're following. Then I choose SCORM package. I give my SCORM package a name, maybe research methods. I may add some description of whatever I am putting up for my learners. And then I look for the file I am interested in. It's on a desktop, so I'll go to my desktop. There are two ways we can have this file. You can simply drag and drop the file where it's supposed to be, or you look for the file yourself. Okay, I upload the file, choose where my file is located on my screen. It's on my desktop. I have ICT security. I have this Exe zip, and then I say open. So I can upload this file. SCORM is shareable content object reference model. Joseph, I hope you got that.
Thank you.
And it's basically about creating units of online training material that can be shared across different systems. And that's why it's called the shareable content object reference model. Remember the learning object that was discussed in the first session. Now, after adding this zipped file or compressed file, I may make some other additions in terms of settings, but let me leave it as is. So I simply come back and say save and return to course, or save and display. In just no minute, we shall have the content available for students. Now, when I change my role to a student role, I'll be able to Yes, Dr. Patrick, the echoes, I think, with Joseph's end. He could be having two devices, one speaking through the other, or someone is accessing YouTube at the same time, this very unit where we are. So having both being accessed at the same time, YouTube has audio and the Zoom also has audio, then we get an echo mixing up. Okay. So this is what we just added, research, practice, research. This is what we just added a few minutes ago. Okay. So you can view in a normal mode and also be able to proceed with the different work. So value of information, personal security. This is basically what I will set up and that we've been able to go through. I hope we are together, ladies and gentlemen.
Yes, okay, it's coming.
It's coming? Oh, good.
Yes.
Okay. Any other question before we can move on to something else? Adeyemi, do you have a question? Or we can move on?
I think we can move on.
Thank you. Okay. Yes, it is okay, Nasaz. Probably you can share that. You can share the screen with us. So we ended at a point where we are looking at an assessment tool, and we have gone through the EXE. Now we have sweet or hot potatoes. Those who enjoy potatoes, I think we are now good to go. We are going to enjoy the potatoes as well. For these potatoes to work very well, it is also another set of content authoring that we want to look at. And basically this looks at quizzes or assessments. The main objective is assessments. It's called hot potatoes. And how do we use hot potatoes? The general picture of hot potatoes looks like that. And in brief, it's a suit developed by a certain university in the US, having a number of things that it does. One, we can use J-clause questions, J-match, that is matching, then J-mix, things mixed up together. We have the J-cross, the J-quiz. All these are part of what we find under the hot potatoes application or suite. It has interactive multiple choice, short answer, jumbled sentence, that is J-mix, crosswords, that is J-cross, matching and ordering, and that is J-match, then gap filling exercise for the World Wide Web. Now, this hot potatoes, once it's a set of 6 authoring tools developed by University of Victoria, Humanities, Computing and Media, and they enable you as a tutor, as an instructor, as a lecturer to create an interactive web-based exercises for several basic types. This could be they range from a standard web page using XHTML 1.1 code for display and Java for connectivity, JavaScript for connectivity. These web pages or pages are generated by hot potatoes, and they are all supported by all modern browsers that you think of, including Internet Explorer, Mozilla, Brave, Phoenix, Safari, Chrome, and so many others. So it also handles a Unicode so that you can create exercises in virtually any language or in any mixture or in the mixture of languages. It's a very good tool for us to use and it's very good that we learn how to use it. Of course, for users, in terms of technicality, you don't need to be a technical person to be able to use this. You don't need to know anything about coding and JavaScript to use it, no. But at the same time, all users need to do is basically enter their data or their text of questions or answers, and the programs will create the web pages. So what we are going to do is simply going to learn how to create these web pages, and we'll post these web pages either on your website or on the learning management system. However, these programs are designed so that almost every aspect of pages can be customized, and if users do not know HTML or JavaScript code, they can make almost any change on the way the exercises work or even the format of the web pages. For us to access Hot Potatoes, we go to hotpot.uvic.ca. There is a version for Windows. There's also a version for Linux. And we are going to access this. Okay. Okay. That's Hot Potatoes. I will have version 7. Cannot imagine that I've been looking at version 6. And if you check the chat room, there is also a copy of the same link to where we find this. We have for Windows. For Windows, we have a 7.0 installer. Okay. So Mac OS, we also have one for download for those that are using Mac OS, even those who are using virtual machines. So those using Windows, using Linux, we have the same version that we are going to, but there's also a 6.0 that is available for download. So click at the Hot Potatoes installer, give it a few minutes. We shall have it available for installation. Save that file. Give it a few minutes as it saves the file, and when it finishes saving the file, then we are going to do the installation. Okay, we are going to do the installation. It's almost done. As it's downloading, we can get a few questions coming in. Feel free to drop in some questions. Those who have some questions, please feel free.
Excuse me, doctor.
Yes, sir.
Why will somebody go for hot potato over EXE?
The choice will depend on what you want to put across to your learners. Under EXE would not have that 6-suit kind of mix. I can go back briefly. Allow me share this briefly. Under EXE, what we only have is a multiple choice. We have, I think, a short answer, and we have the matching plus multiple choice, that is the multiple select. Now, when it comes to hot potatoes, we have a multiple choice, we have a short answer, we have a jumbled sentence. For example, you see the word jumbled, someone can put D at the start and so on, and they say, please rearrange this word. We have a crossword, like a puzzle. There are some people who, I think in some newspapers in some countries, where you get crosswords for it's a puzzle that you fill and so on. That can be part of an exam or part of an assignment or an assessment. There's matching and ordering. There's gap filling exercise for World Wide Web as well. Now, this gives us just a moment. As I explained, this gives us just a moment. Do I have anything? No, I don't have any other audio running on my device. I don't have any other audio running on my devices. Okay, can you hear me now?
Loud and clear.
Oh, thank you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Thank you. Where's my Zoom? Okay. If you look at, we're looking at this. So depending on what you want to give your learners, it will determine what you want to, what you will use, either use EXE or use hot potatoes. Now, hot potatoes has also an option that is we call the Gemasher, which puts everything out these 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 into one, and you have one exam that has different types of choices or types of exams that we can think of. That's what we call a Gemasher. Okay, so this, depending on what you want, it will determine on the type of tool that you're going to use at the end of the day. I think it's done downloading. Let me check. Oh, yes, I am done downloading. Okay, let me share my screen again. Okay. Half-baked software. Oh my God. You're going to share that with us and we see how it looks like. Okay. Okay. Exe. Okay. Where is my... Okay. I'm looking for my downloads where I've put it. Joseph, please share your screen with us as I look for my download here.
Are you able to see my screen?
Yes, we are.
Up there, I see it is called half-baked software.
Oh, okay. No, it is okay. That one is fine. That one is okay. Okay. Some people are too fast. Okay. I'm installing. Those who have not yet installed, I'm installing. Please just double click at hot potatoes and then run or accept, do the installation. Say next, accept the agreement, do the installation, next, 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 and then next, and do the installation. Once you're done, finish, and then you'll be good to go. So the moment you finish doing the installation, it should give you the half-baked kind of thing that is version 7. I hope everyone is at this level. Sorry, I'm back. So are we all at this level? I know we are tired, but we are just running our last lap. Are we okay?
Yes, it's okay.
Okay. Now at this level, we can start entering our quizzes, our questions as they will be. For example, we can take the first quiz that is the J quiz. The moment you click at the J quiz from wherever you are, hope you're seeing my new screen. Okay. And we say this is a multiple choice. So you see here, we have the title of the quiz that we are going to put. And then down here, we have a number of options that we want. Is it a short answer? Is it a hybrid, multi-select? You choose. If it is a multi-select, then you should we determine which ones should be selected and which ones are the answers. Let's start with multiple choice. So maybe that is okay. I had some interesting scenarios here. It has to be multiple choice. So we have a section for answers. This is where we put the answers. This is where we would put the feedback. And this is where we determine which one is correct by simply putting a tick to know that the specific set, probably A, is or B or C. Then once that is done, okay, so we can save that. We have this, we have start a new blank quiz, we have open a previously opened, save the exercise, that is saving this. We can save this with a new name and give it a name. We can export and create a version of this in terms of web page. We can copy and paste, just if we're copying or making any copy and paste. We can insert a picture if we want, depending on the type of question that we are having. So once we are done putting our questions, this is one question, then we may go and save. We can save whatever we want to save. But if you want to take it to the e-learning, if you want to take it to the forum, we come to File, and then we move to Create a SCORM package. The moment you click a SCORM package, we can say maybe this is jQuiz 1, and then we save that. So that is it. Now, if you want to view what you've just done, if we go to the zipped folder where we've put it, simply double click. It will give you a view of the question we've just done. Okay. Okay. That is as far as a JQuiz is concerned. Then we can go back to hot potatoes.
Excuse me.
Yes, sir.
What about taking to the LMS?
I'm going to take them. We are going to take them to LMS as well.
Oh.
I'll not leave it halfway. Okay. Now, if you want to take it to the LMS, maybe I can do that before time gets us. You go back to your LMS, which is this. You go to your course unit, turn editing on, and then you move to add activity or resource. It's a SCORM package. We're dealing with the SCORM packages.
Yes.
And so maybe JQuiz. And so maybe end of training. Assessment. We come and put our file there.
It's fine.
Okay. JQuiz, and then we save and return to course. So we have our JQuiz here, and the moment you click at it, it should be able to give you a normal view, and then you'll be able to view the question as it was put. Okay.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. Okay. Now this takes us back to this potato. In the event that we need for a J match, any question before I can move on? Now, just a moment, members. Let's take a glass of water. Okay, let's move to a J clause. Now in a J clause, this simply gives us a gap filling exercise made with that particular set. You get a certain text that you think you can, let me see, which text can I use? Okay, assuming I have assuming this is what we have, and that is the text that we are working with. Okay, so I'll go ahead and say it's a set of instructions. You can see that. I'll say this is okay, a set of instructions, data, or programs. Then I'll come to gaps here. That is gap number 1. And say when I come to adding alternate or correct answers, the moment you select the content or the work that you want to gap, you'll see a screen like what we. I'm very sure you're not seeing what I'm having on my screen. That is the truth.
We're not seeing. We're about to ask.
Yes, I've just remembered. Apologies. No, I'm very sorry. Okay. Let me. No, I'm going to show you what I'm having. Sorry. So we are on J clause, right? Hello?
Hello?
We are on J clause, and that's what I'm opening.
From J clause, yes.
The moment I open J clause, I'll move to J clause. It gives me this window.
Okay.
Now on this window, we determine what we want to have. For example, we are going to deal with a gap filling exercise. And we have a short story within which you want to fill this work. Maybe I have a short paragraph, and that's how it goes. And this is software. Okay. So there are two main categories of software. The two main are application software and system software. So I have application here, application software, which is this. Then I'll go and add an alternative to this and simply come and say gap. Now, when I say gap, it opens the gap tab word alternatives. So we see a screen like this. Are you seeing my screen?
We can see.
Okay. So here, if you're not sure of what you need to do, you simply click at help, and then they'll explain to you a few things that you may not know, something like this. Okay, this is for you to put some of the answers you want to have. For all the other, you get help for all the other exam options, the JCLOS, the JMix, and everything else, and so on. So it says alternative correct answers, there is space, blank, and so on. So we can put what we want. So I go back to my, is this? You can put maybe application. This is the software, hardware, none. Then I'll say, okay, among the alternate answers. Then I have system software also here. I'll choose system. I gap. This is system. Okay, I'll have this as the peripheral. This is in, of course, you're giving some other alternatives. Then this is the breed. Once you're done, you also click OK. Now, once you're done, we can see the words that we've so far put. They are there. And then we save this also. We can export it. I hope we're still seeing my screen. We need to save it first. This is the J close.
Not seeing your screen, please.
Are you seeing this?
Okay, no, it's okay.
Then
Yeah.
I'm going to give you another one for saving, which is this. And I'm saving it as a JCLOS under forum. Okay, that is done. Now, once that is done, I am going to have another setup, which is a JCLOS. And a JCLOS we have a JCLOS. I'll show you my next screen. That's how a JCLOS looks like. You can say maybe starting from here, I can say JMix, J. Okay. JMix. Down I can say JCLOS. JCLOS. This I can say JavaScript. This is RIPT. This is S. JavaScript. This can be jQuiz. I, Z. I hope you're seeing my screen. Here I can say Gmatch. Okay. Okay, something I've missed here. Let me see. Java script P T. JavaScript. Okay.
Please, I think the JavaScript, the spelling SR, that is after the Java, SCR. So maybe whether it has to shift upwards before you
Yes.
can.
Okay. I think that is it. Thank you. Okay. Okay.
Please, I think the J cross now becomes, I think the double, now you have, please check that one.
Now this one.
No, the
this
one that goes vertical.
Cross.
No, what I'm saying, you already have J cross there, but I don't know, maybe I don't seem to get what you're doing. Okay, now you're changing it, yeah. Very good.
Thank you for being attentive. Okay, now we are moving together, I think. Okay. Gmatch. This is gem. T C H. This becomes A. This is H E R. This becomes W. Web. Okay, G close. This is gem. L O Z E. Okay. So the moment we have that, that is something like a cross, a puzzle, something like that. Then once you've created your grid, then we can click at add close. So on adding close button to enter the close for our words at this point, the program will work out the numbers of the words and show you the screen, that screen down there. Okay. Let me see. Are you seeing this screen of add close?
Oh, yes, you can see.
Okay. Okay, number one is that. Okay. Okay. Masha. This is the program to build linked sequences. Yes, then J-clause. Gap field exercise. The program. Exercise. Okay. Okay. Gmix. Jumbled sentence. Sentence. It is Gmix, Masha, J-clause. Masha, J-clause. I think we are done. Okay, so J-cross. Cross add. Then J-quiz. Exercises with the short answers. Short answers. So okay. Then J-match. This is what is from exercises. Okay. I hope you are seeing my screen. I don't want to leave you behind.
Please, before you click OK, I think the program used for making matching exercise. Program 4. The program
Used for.
So the word for before use should be deleted. Thank you.
Thank you. Oh, you're very, very alert. Okay. Then lastly, we have the web, which is the hot. Someone did ask a question that why of all names did they choose hot potato?
It was me actually.
Programs. Pages. Okay. So now once we are done, of course I will have the clues both up and down. So we say okay. And then that is done. Now we're going to do export this, but remember the J cross is always case sensitive. So you have to be very, very careful when you're working on it. So we are going to save this. I'm saving J cross. I don't know if you see, you don't see my screen. I'm saving it. And I'll forum again. and I have saved that. Unfortunately, whenever you save, it goes off screen, so you'll excuse me. Now I'm going to export it. Okay. File. I create a SCOM package and call it jcross. It processes, and that one also goes. Then you look at the jmix, jmatch, and lastly we shall look at the masher. Okay, now if we do a view of what we've just done for a jcross, this is how it looks like.
Okay, yeah, like the one in the newspapers.
Exactly. So this will create some little bit of course, confusion at some point. So, okay. Let me do the jmix. I think we are caught up with the time. Allow me to do jmix and the mash, I think. Okay. We go to jmix. Open jmix. Now, we are going to break up our sentence, and this is basically this is a jamboard. Sentence. Jmix. So we have our main sentence that we are going to break up. And looking at this, we said this is the hotpotato is available for Windows and Macintosh. Okay, so we say is available for Windows and Macintosh. So now we have the alternate sentences. Of course, it says this is hot. Potatoes is available for Macintosh and Windows. So options for alternate sentences, we say allow sentences which do not use all words and punctuation in the main sentence. And that's what we take.
Please correct the word and after making.
I beg your pardon?
Correct the word AMD, it is and.
Okay, good. Thank you. We can save it. The normal saving that we've been able to go through is what I'm doing. This is jmix. I'm bringing it back. Okay, and then I'm going to export it too. Okay, file, export. Okay. This is J mix. And in essence, this is how it looks like. Okay. Of course, one does. So sorry, we restart. Someone simply says is available for Windows and Macintosh. Then you say answer. Then you'll be able to see if it is correct or wrong. You restart. Okay. I think we are good to go there. Then let me do the last one. Okay. Now the last one, of course, the rest are very simple, but I just want to do the last one. And I'm going to do the masher. So I change my screen to the masher. Now, as we say, this brings up all together what we've been putting up in the JMix, JClose, and so on into one assessment. So you say add files. My files are on a desktop in a folder called forum, and I have JClose, I have JCross, JQuiz. I say open, and I say OK to all. So that is that. I build up this unit. Okay. Now it builds up a session that I want to share with you. The moment you build up, this is what it comes up with. Okay. It puts all the 3 or 4 units, sets of questions we've been able to put up, and it puts them here. So one clicks at one, you finish that one, you can go back, look at the second one, you do that. The third one, you do it. The fourth one, you also do it. This is the fill-in. Are we together, ladies and gentlemen?
Oh, yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So now, with our LMS. So, still with the JMasher, you go to Actions and take it to a SCOM package. We call it this Masher. Okay. Builds up the content. Lovely. Okay. We're good to go now. So we go back to our LMS. Where was it? Where was it? Where was it? Late learning. Zoom, share screen. Where is it running? Okay, here it is. We've got e-learning. Got our course unit. We turn on editing and go to where we have to put our content. Add activity or resource, SCORM package. This is hot. But of course, when you put them together, that becomes one single exam. Maybe exam. So we put the file here. I called it Masha. Okay. Upload it. And we make it available. So this gives us the end of training exam. It's multi-faced, and when you try to check it, you'll discover that you have all these together into one single exam. And this is how it would look like. You can go to Gmix first. You do it. When you're done with it, you can say next. You move to the next until you get to the last item. Whatever you finish, it will be marked as complete. Whatever you go through until you come to the end. So, ladies and gentlemen, that has been briefly. Okay, this is nice. At some point, I decided to leave the PowerPoint slide for me to be able to get into the actual work, but everything is well explained here. And when you come across it, what JQuiz does is well explained. Short or hybrid short answer questions. JCross, it is also very well explained and what it does. JCross, we've seen how it works out and how we can set it up. Then you also have the JMix, which is a jumbled sentence. The JMatch, which is that. Masha, which was the last item to be done. And this puts up everything together that we've been working on into one single file that is uploaded into the learning management system for her to act as a single exam. So between now and tomorrow, my request is that we go through the hot potato and the EXE, develop content, and also develop some quizzes. When we meet tomorrow morning, we can ask a few questions to recap what we went through today, why you could have gotten some challenges. Otherwise, from me to you, allow me to end here and wish you a lovely evening, unless we have some questions. But I think it's been an interactive session for all of us.